are live right now, live from the village right now. It is 3 minutes past 8 p.m. right now. It is the 22nd of May, 2023 right now. It is Monday movie night right now. And I've got a special treat for you right now. This is a movie made about 8 years ago. Actually, probably more than 8 years ago. It was actually made in 2010. It's about 13 years ago right now. It's a movie made in Uganda. It's a movie that, through some stroke of luck, gained popular attention outside of Uganda. You may have heard of it. You may have even seen it. But do you know the way? That's what we're about to do. Who Killed Captain Alex? Uganda's first action movie. English subtitles and video joker. Wak Hollywood. You can watch this along on YouTube. I'll put a link in the chat in a little bit. I'm gonna pin it to the top. You can watch along. But for now, let me switch over to this screen and just talk for a little bit. So yeah, we're about to watch Who Killed Captain Alex for Monday Movie Night. I've seen this film once before. I can't remember when I saw it. Actually, it was a while back, probably some years ago now. But I've seen this film once before. It got popular because of a YouTube, at least the story that I am, as I understand it. It's a film that was made in Uganda. Apparently, it's made in a war zone during conflict times. Very little money used to make this movie. It's a very, very low budget movie. In fact, it's such a low budget movie, the director had to delete the film of his computer right after they finish editing it, so they can make space for the next movie. So it was never really thought of that this film was going to do well. They made a film out of a passion for making films, put it out to their community, and somehow, some way, it ended up in front of the eyes of a YouTuber by the name of I Hate Everything, who actually, I believe that guy's name's Alex as well, I believe. I'm not entirely sure, but I think his name's Alex as well. Anyway, but yeah, it's a channel called I Hate Everything, and he's doing a series called Search for the Worst, where he's looking for the worst movies ever made, and he goes through some terrible movies in that series, and he comes along this particular movie in a search for the worst, but instead of hating it, it turns out he really likes it. And being a big channel that he is or was, I don't really know, I haven't paid much attention, but I ain't trying to throw shade or nothing. I just don't follow too many YouTubers when it comes down to it, at least not all the big ones. But anyway, he was popular at the time. I assume he's still popular now. And yeah, went out to a lot of people, and it became kind of a meme. And then the film blew up. The film blew up. So big up to I Hate Everything for spotting this gem of a film in the piles of trash he must have been going through looking for the worst films ever made, and letting the world know about it, at least letting his community know about it. That spread it out to the rest of the people to then know about it. So just goes to show that even though you're looking for a terrible movie, you can still sometimes find a gem. But yeah, this is a film. It's on YouTube. I'm gonna put the link in the chat right now. Okay, and I'm gonna pin that message to the top, so that, and yeah, this is properly on YouTube, by the way. So this isn't like a dodgy copy. Like the people who made this movie put it on YouTube. So it's not like the last time where we thought it was legit and it turned out it wasn't. This was actually uploaded by the people who made the film on their official YouTube channel. where it currently stands at 8.5 million views, being uploaded 8 years ago. But yeah, that's a proper link to the video. But yeah, we'll start that in a little bit. Let me just talk for a little while before we do that. By the way, if anybody's watching this on the replay, on the VOD, there should be time links in the description if you want to skip ahead. If there isn't time links in the description, then drop a comment, because I probably forgot or just haven't got around to it yet or something. But yeah, the time links if you just want to skip ahead. For now, yeah, we'll chat a little bit. So yeah, I guess a pretty normal day today. Did some driving work earlier, did a little bit of writing for my next video for the movie channel. I haven't written much, really, pretty much just wrote the intro to the video, and that's it so far. But the next video is why Too Fast Too Furious is trash. So that's what I'm working on. I already did the Fast and the Furious last year sometime, and I do intend on working my way through all the Fast and Furious movies at some point. So yeah, we'll go, because I did all the Star Wars movies. That's still done now. So now I'm looking for my next series of movies to trash, and I've chosen the Fast and the Furious movies. So the plan is to work my way through those. There's like 11 of those movies now, including Hobbs and Shaw, and by the time it's done, I think it'd be 13. Would that be right? I think about 13 movies by the time it's done, because this new Fast X movie is supposed to be a trilogy in itself. So yeah, there's a bunch of movies to get through over a period of time. But anyway, that's the task I've set myself, to trash every single Fast and Furious movies. But here's the thing, I do like the Fast and Furious movies. I mean, just like Star Wars, I do actually like the films. I enjoy them mostly. I mean, don't get me wrong, of course there's things about it that, you know, don't add up and silly, and Star Wars in particular could be quite frustrating at times just because of some of the choices they make. Fast and Furious for me is just silly fun, and it's great at doing it, and it's always been that way. I know a lot of people talk about, oh, when did Fast and Furious start becoming over the top and whatever? When did it start abandoning reality? It abandoned reality from the beginning. Like the very first movie abandoned reality. It just did it a bit more subtle than in the later movies, but they were never realistic from the very get-go. But yeah, it's just a little bit more subtle in the first few movies. But yeah, I rewatched Too Fast Too Furious on Saturday, or was it Sunday? Was it Sunday? A few days ago anyway. Was it yesterday? I can't remember when, but it was recently. And yeah, now it's time to trash it. So yeah, just wrote an intro to that. Hopefully be able to do some more writing, maybe a little bit tomorrow, but mainly on Wednesdays, kind of the time that I set aside to do a bit more writing for that particular video. Yeah, I think that's pretty much. Oh yeah, I've been watching The Boys on Amazon Prime, so I'm on season 3 up till episode 5. I think I watched, yeah, episode 5 I'm currently watching. I haven't finished episode 5. I maybe got for about 30-40 minutes for episode 5. Then I was like, all right, cool, let me stop that here and jump on this live stream team, because I'm trying to be on time. So yeah, I'm about a little over halfway through episode 5, methinks. Actually, let me just double check real quick. I can actually find out. Yeah, over halfway from it, 36 minutes into episode 5 of season 3. And yeah, you know, it is pretty good so far. It's a lot of interesting concepts that come up in The Boys from season 1 to season 3 so far, and just not just the story, but the story behind the story, and some of the sort of the politics involved, and the stakes, and the attitudes and the egos. And I mean, I could very much believe that if we had superheroes in real life, a lot of them would be like how they are in this show. You know, that's, I mean, I think I've heard somebody say that, and I think I'd agree with that, that if we had superheroes in real life, I wouldn't be too surprised if, you know, behind the scenes, behind all the publicity and everything else, they wouldn't be too different to how they are in The Boys. You know, less Superman and more Uh, well, as you know, let me not give too much away in case anybody ain't seen it. But it's a pretty decent show. Pretty good so far. I'm enjoying it. Definitely quite gruesome at times. Which if that's an issue for you, then yeah, maybe check the content warning before watching it. But yeah, that's pretty much my day so far. So I had a coffee today, and it was a cappuccino with oat milk. Not oat milk, sorry, soy milk. And I've tried soy milk in coffees before, and I thought it was fine. I thought it was okay. This one felt a bit weird though, and I don't know whether it's because it's a cappuccino, and you know they have more froth for the cappuccino than you do on, say, a latte or a flat white. Maybe it was that, because I just remember it feeling really weird and not particularly nice in the beginning, and then after a while it starts to taste a bit better and start enjoying it a little bit more. I'm not sure if that's because of the froth, or maybe I just kind of got used to it. But either way, soy milk in coffee seems to be a bit of a hit or miss for me. Like, I mean, there's times where I've had it when it's been fine, like Greg's, for example, and I think Costa, when I had a coffee at Costa, I asked for soy milk and it was fine. Was it Costa? I don't remember. Not actually, no, I don't think it was Costa. But I know Greg's, I got soy milk at Greg's, and that was fine. But I went to this place, it was like a small cafe, and they use soy milk in the cappuccino. Maybe next time I'll try the latte, because I think it might be because of the froth. That's what I'm thinking. And maybe the soy milk froth just doesn't go so well, and it's mean the rest of it is fine. But I don't know. But yeah, I think that's pretty much my day so far. So see if we could get this show on the road. Oh, speaking of coffees, actually, I had a really nice coffee the other day. I put the video up actually on the channel. It was at a place called Chilson's Coffee, and they had a really cool setup. It was like a cab. Well, it looked like a cab car from one side, but when I got closer, it looked more like just a van, like a black van. So I don't know if it was supposed to be an old school cab, maybe. But anyway, it was like a cab-looking car, or cab-looking small van type car that they converted the back of it into a small coffee shop. So he opened up the back, and there's like coffee machines and stuff, and he put out the table in front so he could serve. And I've seen it before, so I've passed it maybe a few times, but you know, never really got a chance to go there. But I was there the other day, and I was like, okay, let me finally go to this place. So I took a little video thing I put on the channel. But yeah, it was a real nice coffee. It was a piccolo. So I asked the guy if they do a signature beverage, and he said it would be the piccolo, as in that's the one, I guess, one he reckons they do the best. And I don't think I've had a piccolo before, but he described it as, how did he describe it? I think he described it as an espresso with like a little bit of milk on it, and sort of the difference between that and a macchiato is that macchiato uses milk froth, and this uses just steamed milk. And I guess it's very close to a cortado, which I have had before. I mean, to be honest, a lot of these coffee drinks, like the difference between one coffee drink and another is really just how much milk you're using. Like, a lot of it comes down to how much milk to coffee you're using. But yeah, I guess it's pretty similar to a cortado. But anyway, so yeah, it's a pretty short drink, and but yeah, he made it, and he did the art with the milk, which is pretty cool. It had like a flower pattern that he did, but it was just a real nice coffee. Like you can taste the espresso. Sometimes, in fact, a lot of times we have like coffee drinks, like you don't really taste the espresso, you just taste like milk, you know, like coffee flavored milk, which is fine, right? But this time you can actually taste like the sweetness of the espresso still there, and as kind of mixed with the milk. So it's a real nice drink. I was like, you know what, I ain't never had no piccolo before, but me thinks I like piccolos now. So yeah, me likes piccolos. All right, so I reckons it's about time we get this show on the road. So you know what, I think with this one I'm able to put the audio on. I believe I should be fine with the audio here, but let me switch over to this screen. And if you haven't already, get it ready on 0. Start gonna press play. This is a short movie, by the way. It's like 1 hour and 8 minutes, so it's not a very long film. And I'm pretty sure the directors, the filmmakers have no problem with the video being shown. That being said, I don't want to take the piss too much, so I won't show the video. I feel like they probably don't mind if I show the video. Like I know one time when I did a movie night like ages ago, like back when I wasn't doing some regular. I remember I emailed him, asked him if it was okay, and he was like, "Yeah, cool, it's fine." But that was a while ago, and I haven't asked him again, so I don't want to assume it's okay, that he's fine with it. He might have changed his mind since then. I don't know, but I doubt it's a problem. That being said, let me not. But yeah, there's a link to see the video, to watch the movie along. So it's worth giving him more views on his channel anyway. So I'll just do what I normally do and have most of the video covered. But yeah, I think the audio should be fine to let that come through. Hopefully there's no issues there, especially if I'm covering the thing. But anyway. All right, are you ready on 0? We're gonna go 3, 2, 1, play. So if you're ready, 3, 2, 1, play. Uganda's first action movie. Nabwana IGG. This is a lost film. All that survives is a low-resolution DVD monster. This is due in part to the harsh working conditions, but Nabwana IGG also... Okay. He never imagined anyone outside his own village would see this film. Wow. Just goes to show, gotta dream big. Oh yeah, the special effects in this film are incredible. Like, these are better than Marvel special effects. Yo, what up, brats? Let me turn this down, actually, it's a bit loud in my ears. It's a bit loud in my ears. Yo, what up, brats? How you doing, man? Brats Spivvy in a place to bivvy. Home of the best movies. Bullies.
Yes, okay. This is VJME, live in the
VJME,
studios from
yeah.
Wakariwood, Uganda. Get ready. Raymond Film Productions. Yeah. Okay. Tighten your seat belts.
Awesome.
Alan Sally.
Yeah, man. I was just saying that.
Now proudly presents It's Our Wakariwood Film.
I don't know if you've seen this movie before, but there's a link up in the pinned. It is worth watching along.
Who killed the Captain Alexi? The
This
Ugandan
movie is
first
great.
action-packed movie. Who killed the Captain Alexi? This is Captain Alex, Uganda's best soldier. Only Alex can stop the mafias.
Might have to add this to movies. I'll talk about my movie channel actually.
Will you marry me?
I've seen this one.
I prefer
it's called Blue Cup Captain Alex. It's a Uganda movie from 2010. It got real popular outside of Uganda. I believe because of the I Hate Everything YouTube channel. That's at least that's how I've understood the story.
I love it. Part of Africa. Over here, I want dancing girls, beautiful girls. And here,
how's your day been, man?
we build football pitch. Get to work. Go, go, go.
How's your day been? How's your day going? Appreciate you joining this live stream.
Bagenda betereza nga tebanatandika mulimu basoose kumanya we basinziira. I'm making German food. German food? Yeah, we found German tourists. We're cooking them. Oh, very, 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 very good.
What, they're cooking the Germans?
Serve with the head, like Predator.
I mean, they say it was German food. That kind of makes sense if you're cooking the Germans.
Oyo omusajja twamugobera mu kibuga kati ena kirabika ali mu banganda ze kitegeera katulina mufumbikiza tujja mufe ffetta tumumalewo
Cage tigers most dangerous. Ain't that the truth?
Soldiers, but they are surrounded
Yeah, bruh.
by the enemy.
Saying I was doing some regular stay today for me. Did some driving earlier. I need to try and go hards this week though. With that, because I took a few extra days off last week, and this is the last week to earn money for May. Right, so this is the last week I have to earn money for May, and if anything I earn next week goes into June's money. So this is my last week to earn money for May. I want to try and end the month strong. So yeah, we'll go hard this week. I just might have a acting gig coming up, but that's not confirmed yet. I say acting, it's not acting. I just gave them money out. I thought it was a stripper.
Good music, come on, sing up, sing up.
Regular is good, man.
We love Don Patton.
We do love Dolly Parton, no doubt.
Come on. All right, yo, yes, again. You're cute. Hello, Mama. Are you crazy?
Uh-oh.
That's my wife. Get off my wife. Wife? I thought that is a god. Hello? Combat. Get Captain
Oh,
Alex.
it's all breaking out now.
Down. Get down. Who you?
Yeah. You know what though? Like, you know, I was playing Final Fantasy 7 on Thursday and got my ass beat on Thursday. I do still want to play that game, but I feel like, mate, I need to take a break from it. It might be a while before I come back to that. Hopefully not too long. But I do feel like I need to take just a break from it because the way that game was, that was a lot, man. That was a lot. Cut Tiger's balls.
Now you're gonna see. This is how we do action in Uganda.
This is how we do action in Uganda.
Commando.
Oh, by the way,
the Ugandan
Brax.
commando.
Smithy. Something you might be interested in. So, you know, I've got a podcast channel. I recorded an episode on Saturday. It's not due out till Wednesday the 31st.
Production in action. Production in action.
It was with somebody who I believe shares quite a few opinions with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, in particular when it comes to being a black conservative or black Republican.
The most deadliest gang in Uganda.
So we didn't talk a great deal about politics and that thing, because then it's a deep podcast. But yeah, he did share sort of some of his views on gaming through a conservative Christian lens. So yeah, that's I feel like some of his lines seems to be similar to your own. Plus, I've known the guy for years, so I've known the guy for a while. But yeah, that's something I thought you might be interested in. Like, it's due out on the 31st of October, 31st of May. It's a guy who used to have a gaming YouTube channel. Well, technically he still does. He just doesn't post that anymore. But he was on YouTube posting gaming videos. Then he left YouTube, and he talks about his journey on YouTube, why he started it, why he left. You know, the things that could happen in. You know, people involved and all of that. And yeah. Okay, make sure I heard you right over the volume on my side. Oh, awesome. You can hear me okay? That's good.
He's holding a dangerous weapon. Shh. Hey. You go around by. Yangwa. Commandos! Deadly commandos!
Okay.
Tiger Mafia! Super kicker! What's happening?
Let me turn this down a bit. That might be a bit too loud. How about now? Is that better now? Let me turn this up a little bit, actually. How's that? Is that clearer now? Now I hear Pharrell. awesome. Okay, cool. So yeah, I was just saying that I spoke to a guy who I believe shares a lot of similar opinions to you as in regards to being a black conservative. Dude lives in Texas, so he's southerner as well, southern states as well. And like I said, we weren't talking directly about politics, but he was sharing a lot of his sort of conservative Christian views on things like gay men and women, you know, stuff like that came up during a conversation. So yeah, that podcast is due out on the 31st of October. Oh, say it again, 31st of May, excuse me. That's due out on the 31st of May. But yeah, I feel like you might be interested. I think you might be interesting to hear somebody with a similar outlook as to yourself. I would say this though, that with the podcast is, I'm gonna have to start putting disclaimers on my podcast episodes. Like, I kind of thought about doing that before, but I ended up forgetting about it, and I guess, you know, once you forget about it, you don't really give it much thought after that. But so after speaking to this guy, like, you know what, I'm gonna need to start putting disclaimers on his podcasts. I need to start putting disclaimers on his podcasts. I mean, it was a good conversation, but he did say some wild stuff, and I was like, okay. Listen, I wanted real conversations. That's why, you know, I do these things, right? I wanted a real conversation, and I got a real conversation. Maybe a little bit too real at times. I was like, I'm gonna have to start putting disclaimers on this thing. I'm independent, leaning, conservative, and voting, but I vote for the M's too if their policies. Okay, cool. Man, look at the athleticism of this guy.
Action is coming. I promise you.
Do you know if he's foreign black? Foreign black? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know he's. I believe he was born in Texas. I mean, I don't know his whole family heritage, but I believe he was born and raised in Texas. But yeah, I mean, I don't know specific. I don't know for sure, but that's what I think. He's definitely lived in Texas a long time. I mean, I think pretty much since I've known him, which is going on probably close to about 6 or 7 years. I think I've known him. I'm pretty sure he's lived in Texas at least at that time. I mean, you know, probably longer than that. Matter of fact, his name's Alex as well. Oh, look at this though. Rose blood. Digital blood. This is EVGA live from Kampala, Uganda. Watch this. Oh, they take them all out. Yeah, shoot him, sis. Okay, it's awesome because usually vets will come to the US or raising the US will vote Republican and talk slick on FBAs. VAs. Oh wait, you told me what that meant, wasn't it? Full. I forgot what that means. Sorry, I know you told me what it meant. Full black. I mean, I know it's not full-blown AIDS. I know, I know it's not that. I know it's not that. That's just that's what's coming to my mind right now. That's what's coming to my mind, but I know it's not that. But yeah, no, he didn't talk. I mean, like I said, we didn't really talk about politics like too much. It was just more that his political views came up during the conversations that we had. Even if the games will do the same as to, they'll start sounding like they wear the white robes with pointy hoods. Okay, yeah, no, definitely not like that. I mean, he had a lot of viewpoints that, you know, we didn't quite agree on, shall we say? But no, it ain't not like that, and not like that. Yo, Belgian Dan. Who killed Cap? Indeed, who? It's a mystery. It is a mystery. How you doing, Dan? How's your day going? How's your day been? Appreciate you joining this live stream. Foundational Black Americans. That was it. Yeah, that was it. That was it. I remember you did say it once, and I was just like, what was it again? I just forgot. But yeah, appreciate it, man. Foundational Black Americans. There you go. So oh, for real, man. Like, I mean, you got to think, this film was made in a poverty-stricken country during a time of conflict. You know, this guy had next to no money making this film. And yeah, they just still did it. They still got the actors, they got the direct, and they put it together, and and yeah, you got, like you say, you got the passion projects. Like, I mean, you could, if you want to, you could criticize it on a technical level and various things, but it's like, what would be the point, you know, when you could just enjoy it for the awesomeness that it is? Okay, just relax in the moment. Awesome. Man, it's got a samurai sword, you know, just smashing out the place. And, exactly. I tip my hat to them, indeed. That's the thing, like, when you're making anything and you don't have the resources that maybe you would like, you know, and you just like take what you have and do what you can with it, do the best you can with it. You know, I feel like that would always show more. Oh, slap her up, you know, don't slap people. You know, like, that passion would always show, even if you don't have a lot of money, even if you don't have the best cameras and, you know, all the best editing and sound and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, and I think it's the fact that, you know, this film found its way outside of Uganda to such a wide audience, or certainly a wider audience than it might have got normally. You know, it's such a great story that, you know, somebody with a big platform came along this came across this movie and decided to be like, hey, you know what? This is a great movie. You guys should check it out. And they did. And people loved it. And it got memed and, you know, and everything else. But it made the film even more popular. And there you go, man. It's difficult, but it can be done. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, he's putting his own team together now. To find out who killed his brother. I was able to save your briefcase as well as your beautiful wife. Man. Oh wait, he just shot his... Wait, he just killed his wife. Men don't care. Men don't care. Oh, hey, easy. We just need a plan. You might need more than a plan. VJ Emmy though, he just makes this movie, doesn't it? Oh wait, I'm confused. I thought Alex was his brother. I thought Alex was his brother, but no, Alex is somebody else. Okay, my bad. I got confused. Man's in a suit now. Oh man, he's just taking their guns. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna take your guns. All right. finally arranged my furniture and my training is slowly paying off. Nice. Nice. The little feng shui. So that's to give you more space for training. They're rearranging all the furniture.
You were beautiful. It's so stupid.
Oh, well, excuse me.
Okay, I'm ready to beat it. Let's beat the rat.
Beat the rat. Man said beat the rat. That makes it easier to move around. And yeah, more training room. Ah, nice. Yeah, man, gotta make sure you got space to kind of stretch out. And lean into it. Up. And down. Yeah. Oh, she's a snake.
Remember, she's here to
They still got their moves. I mean, you know. I try. But yeah, I've been exercising more lately. Like I've been going to the gym more often lately. Like I went this morning, and we plan to go tomorrow morning as well. Cool. Oh, thanks, bro. It's Cobra Kai. Apparently, the next season of Cobra Kai is going to be the last. Which, as much as that hurts to hear, it makes sense. It makes sense. It's not the type of show that can just keep going on and on and on and on. You know, like, in fact, to be honest, it's probably gone on a little bit longer than it probably should have. Don't get me wrong, it's been great. Like, it's been, like, every season's been fantastic. But in all honesty, it's like, they probably didn't necessarily need, they could have ended it at, like, season 3 or 4, you know. But they found ways to kind of drag it out just a little bit, and then I'm glad they did, because they've done some great seasons. Like, all the seasons have been fantastic. So I feel like, well, maybe not dragged out is a long way to describe it, because they have made great seasons. It's just, well, I guess what I'm really saying is that it could have ended earlier, and maybe on some level it should have ended earlier, but you know, they've made it worthwhile keeping it around, so you can't be mad. You know what I mean? You can't be mad. But yeah, apparently this next season, which I think is season 6, I believe, if I've counted correctly, it's supposed to be the last. And yeah, as sad as that is, it's probably for the best. And exactly, end on a high note. You know, better to die than fade away. The last thing you want to do is like keep going on and on and on to the point where it just gets boring and pointless. When people stop caring. You know, some shows just go on like that. They just keep going on and on and on. Nobody cares anymore. And then before you know it, like, you haven't watched it for ages. And then maybe catch it on TV one day, like, well, they still make these? That is a Pat Marita Castillo beat. Yeah, man. Yeah, he died. I mean, he died in 2010, was it? ...2005. He died in 2005. I know in the show, the character of Mr. Miyagi died. I know it's later than 2005. Like I remember when they showed a gravestone, the year they put that Mr. Miyagi died was like much later. And I guess they did that so they could have the story that Mr. Miyagi knew Samantha when she was young. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, they put 2011, November 15th, 2011 in the show for Mr. Miyagi's death. Yeah. But yeah, that show's just been great from the beginning, you know, like from season 1 till now, it's just been such a blast. And it was literally the main reason why I ended up buying, you know, YouTube Premium, because at the time, you know, YouTube Premium was still making original shows, and that was one of them. And I wanted to watch that, so I bought YouTube. I guess to be fair, I probably would have got YouTube Premium anyway. But certainly that was a big reason for wanting it, because you can watch Cobra Kai on it. So I got YouTube Premium, and then of course YouTube stopped making stuff and they sold it off to Netflix, and Netflix took over, and they've done a great job so far just keeping it going without messing it up or anything. That's right, yeah. Bro, you know how much that hooked me though? That first episode, in fact, it might have been the first 2 episodes, I don't remember. Certainly the first episode for sure, possibly the first 2, or I might be misremembering, but definitely the first one. Anyway, doesn't really matter too much, but yeah, the first episode was free. And then after that, I was like, and by the way, when the first season was on, YouTube Premium wasn't available in the UK. So the first episode was free, and you had to pay individually for the rest of them. Like, wait, who? Who? Yeah, the first episode was free, and the rest of them were like £1 something to buy. And I ended up buying each individual episode at £1 whatever per episode, you know, because it was so good. I was like, yo, I've got to watch this, man. I gotta. So yeah, I ended up buying each individual episode. And then yeah, season 2 came. That's when YouTube Premium was on available in the UK. Bought that so I could watch it, and of course went to Netflix. I was like, yeah, went there. Oh yeah, definitely worth it. I don't regret it at all. I mean, the fact that I could watch it on Netflix now as part of the package is like whatever. But I do not regret it at all, because mate, it was such a great show. It was such a great show. I just finished 1 episode. I was like, man, let me just get this next one. Let me just get this next one. And I was just into it, man. But yeah, the guy who plays I forget his name. His real name is Zolo Murueta. I'm sure I said that wrong. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sure I said that wrong. But you know the guy who plays Miguel. He's so good in that show. Like from the first season till like he was so good in that show. I felt like they kind of, I don't say dropped the ball on him, but yeah, he kind of took a bit of a backseat in the last season. But yeah, definitely in the first few seasons, like I mean, even in the last season, it was great. I ain't saying that, but you know, I felt like his character kind of took a bit of a backseat. But yeah, that he is so good in that show. Like, and those first few seasons as well. Like, and I think it was the second season. The way that one ended, you've seen it, right? Because I don't want to spoil nothing. The way that second season ended, I think you know what I mean. When he has the fight with Robbie in the school, that big fight breaks out in the school. Oof! Listen, the way my breath stopped, the way my breath just, I was like, it felt like 10 minutes of not breathing. You know what I mean? It felt like I was not breathing for 10 minutes to where it just went. I saw the Ryzen angle fall. Oh wait, angel. I can't even read. I saw the Ryzen angel fall. Same here. You know what though? That lady who plays Carmen, I ain't even afraid to say it. She is too fine. The lady who plays Carmen, oh, I'm blanking on her real name right now, but she is, oof. She is, Trying to say something without spoiling. Yo, for sure, I catch you. But yeah, man. What's that lady? Let me try and find out her name real quick. Vanessa Rubio, that's her real name. Vanessa Rubio. Yeah, she is. And you know what? I don't think she's that much old. Oh, she's not. No, she's about the same age. Well, a bit younger than me, a bit younger, but not much younger. Yeah, she's 39. Listen, that lady's my size. You understand? She's my size. Oh, mate. Nagel's mom's for real. I don't think I've seen her anything before. Like if I have, then maybe somehow managed to not notice, which is kind of unbelievable. Like I think I'd notice her if I've seen her in a movie before. So either she's been in a bunch of stuff I just haven't seen, or I is blind. Let me just look at her movie history real quick. What's she been in? I think. Yeah, I don't think she's been in anything that I've seen. I'm just looking for her history now. I think a lot of her stuff was in Colombia, actually, by the looks of it. Or maybe not a lot, but certainly quite a few things seem to be, I think, Colombia or South American. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff I haven't seen, but mate, that lady is fine. Yo, what up, Sam? Sam B in a place to be. How's your day going? How's your day been? Appreciate you joining this live stream. I think I think he came through just as I was simping over one actress called Vanessa Rubio. I don't know if you know who Vanessa Rubio is, but she is fine. I ain't gonna lie, man, like, you know, when a woman is so fine that you'd gladly simp for her. That's Vanessa Rubio. I ain't even embarrassed to say it. I will simp for Vanessa Rubio. I don't even care.
I'm so hungry. Finally, I get to eat. What the fuck? This saga continues.
That's Kiss My Rose. That sounds like Kiss My Rose. I swear it's Kiss My Rose. She was in Bloodbound. Also, I don't think I've seen Bloodbound. I'm not sure if I even had a Bloodbound. Is that a gangster movie? So I came in at a good time then. You came in at the best time. Watching a good movie, talking about a hot woman who's not in this movie. And perhaps that's the only thing that can make this movie better, is Vanessa Rubio just showing up randomly. It's a horror movie, okay.
You not married?
Bloodbound. Does she survive the horror movie? I'm only watching it if she survives it. I don't want to say otherwise. They need to rewrite that movie, otherwise. But how's your day, Sam? Not spoiling it. Okay, fair enough. That's fair.
Welcome to Uganda.
Ooh, excuse me. When's the wedding? I don't know. I might have to talk about this movie on this movie, Who Killed Captain Alex, on my movie channel. I think I do, you know. Talk about how fantastic it is. Yo, what up, Al? AE in a place to be. I'm doing alright, man. I'm doing alright. Had me a decent day. Did some regular things. A little driving work. A little video work. And now I is here. Now I is here. How you been, man? Yeah, I guess it's been a while. Well, actually no, well, been a while since I guess you and Sam have been in a chat together. I was in one of the streams, was it last week, I think? Well, for a little bit at least anyway. I think it was last week. He was here for a little bit. But yeah, appreciate you coming back, appreciate you spending a little time with us. By the way, if you ever want to see Bolo Young and William Zabka in the same movie, then watch Shoot Fighter 1 and 2. Okay. Okay. I just might want to see Bolo Young and William Zabka in the same movie. Shoot Fighter. Shoot Fighter, fight to the death. Shoot Fighter 2. Appreciate the recommendation, Dan. Big up for that. Yeah, it's been a while, Ben. It's been a while over the last 3 weeks. Martin Cove as well. All right, so kind of a Karate Kid reunion a little bit. 2 Johnnies at least, anyway. The 2 Johns. I started watching Shameless US version. Thanks to TikTok. Okay, how's that going? I never actually watched a British version. Appreciate it, Dan. Yeah, how's your pops doing now? Look at that. This man just kick him up. He's me. That big knife though. Man ain't playing with that thing. He was had a heart attack a few weeks back. In hospital, damn, man. Yeah, heart attack's no joke, man. So yeah, guy's doing better.
Now it's time to see real action. Feature him in the MIC.
Pierce decent. Okay. Yeah, I never did watch the British version of Shane. It was on Channel 4. It's probably on the 4OD actually.
On the mission. Mission terminate. Tonalera. Super Baker. Baila nenyonyi. Ya police, helicopter ya police ojipe.
Indeed, indeed.
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, you know. How you doing, Al?
Commando.
Make sure you're taking care of yourself as well. You know, when things like this happen, it's a tough time, but yeah, make sure you're taking care of yourself as well, you know.
Get ready. Tighten your seat belts.
Yeah, these are some of the most. These are some of the greatest special effects in a movie you'll ever see. Alright, just chilling out today. Okay, nice. This guy's so violent. Just hits, just throws out punches just cause. Watched the British version when it came out way back then. I liked it. It was like a. I mean, I never watched it, but it looked like it was about a drunk guy that wore a bathrobe or something. This guy got the moves though still. But look at this. If these aren't the greatest special effects you'll ever see, come on now. These are better than Marvel. Look at these special effects. Look at that. Look at these effects. MCU ain't got nothing on these effects. Marvel ain't got nothing. Marvel can't touch these effects. I don't think I know this movie. This is Who Killed Captain Alex. It's a Ugandan film from 2010. And it's quite possibly the greatest action movie ever made. But you have to know the way. You have to know the way. So have you ever heard, by the way, Al, or anybody really, if you ever heard anybody say something like, "Do you know the way?" or anything like that, or the whole Ugandan Knuckles meme, "Do you know the way? Do you know the way?" If you ever heard anybody say that, this is the film that came from. This is the film that came from. That whole "Do you know the way" meme. This is a movie it came from. Shoots everybody. Why does nobody work for this guy? He just slaps and shoots people. Still, those moves are sick though. It was about the whole family. It was a comedy, but it definitely had its fair share of drama. Okay. Do you reckon it's worth watching for somebody who completely missed it the first time round? Yeah, go for the panties. That's just good advice, really. Go for the panties. Elliot has been trying to get me to watch Suits. That's a hard pass for me. Suits the one with Meghan Markle, isn't it? Apparently that's the... She's from that show getting shagged. And now Prince Harry has trouble watching that show. Or at least so he says. He says that. He probably watches that. He probably watches that and masturbates. Anytime Prince Harry has an argument or gets into like any kind of tiff with his wife, he watches that scene from Shoots and jerks off. That family drama, sure. I mean, I don't mind it, but yeah, I mean, I don't hate family drama, but I don't know. Maybe. We'll see how long it is, aside from there. By the way, for anybody who might be interested, which is probably not many of you to be honest, I'd imagine, but just in case, Horizon Zero Dawn is currently on sale on Steam for like $13.99, which is a pretty good price for Horizon Zero Dawn. It said he has a newfound respect for Megan now. And I'm like, You do it. You do it. You do understand. So here's a question. Here's a question for the group. So let's say your wife or husband or partner is an actor or actress, right? Good family drama takes my mind off my own. Well, at least it ain't that bad. I get it. At least we ain't that bad. Alright, so let's say your partner is an actor or an actress, right? And they do a movie where they're nude. They have like a nude scene in that movie, right? Right. Is it okay to watch that and jerk off to it? Now, here's the thing. Before you answer that, here's something I want to bear in mind. Because on one hand, you might be thinking, well, of course it's fine. I mean, it's your partner. You see him naked, blah, 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 right? Of course it's fine. But consider this. Consider this. They're playing a role, right? They're acting a role. So you're technically not looking at your partner. You're looking at the person that they're acting as. So, you know, is that still okay? And does it make a difference if that was done, if the nudie scene was done before you got together? Like, is it not okay if it was done before you got together? Is it fine as long as it happened after you got together? I'm just saying. Just saying. Things you might need to think about. But that was that was Who Killed Captain Alex. That is a great movie. I tried to pay attention to it though. I probably missed a bunch of stuff, I'm sure. But that is a great movie. It's like I was saying before, Dan. It was like it's a passion project. It was made on a very low budget in a conflict zone. You know, the people who made this had so little money for the film that when they finished making it, they had to delete it off their hard drive to make space for their next movie. They never expected to do as well as it did, and this version that they uploaded to YouTube had to be ripped from a DVD because they just didn't have the actual master copy anymore. So this is like they had to rip it from a DVD and upload it to YouTube. And by the way, the filmmakers who made it, they uploaded themselves. It's not like this, this isn't like a dodgy anything. They uploaded themselves for people to see. And due to I Hate Everything's YouTube channel, I believe, and that's the story I know, unless someone wants to correct me, but I believe because of his channel is one of the main reasons, or the main reason, why it got so popular outside of Uganda, and why it ended up being, just this meme sensation and everything, just from what he said about the film and promoting it and talking about it, and a lot of his followers then watched it, and then of course other people start watching it, and then it just got around and it ended up doing really, really well. So it's very much a passion project. It's a bunch of guys with passion for filmmaking with no money or next no money, and did the best they can with what they had. Big up VJ Emmy, he makes his film. Film's great anyway, but VJ Emmy really makes his film, so yeah. I'd rather think about it. I think it's a little weird, but each to your own. Well, indeed. I'm asking for a friend, of course. I'm asking for a friend. Yeah. you can support Hollywood movies if you would like to do that. Well, I mean, this video's uploaded 8 years ago, so you might want to double check those. Sites are still active.
Hollywood will be back in Uganda Ninja, Pat Black, Revenge, the Ugandan ghost story, crazy people, eaten alive in Uganda, true story, Plan 9 from Uganda, this movie's a lie, Juba the Snake Girl, this one is crazy.
Yeah, it's just become annoying now though. I had sympathy at first, but you kind of lose the moral high ground when he decides his family are. He gets upset they don't talk to him. The way I see it, still, no matter how good her acting skills would be, since she would be the one playing the part. Oh wait, by the way, I said partner, not parent. Like your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. Sorry, that so maybe it sounded maybe I didn't speak properly. But I said partner, not parents, by the way. Yeah, I think if it was a parent, that's just wrong no matter what. It's just no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. No. But yeah, partner. Her parent. Oof, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Yep. That's a whole nother thing. Oof. Alright, I'm gonna take just a quick little break. While Dan decides whether it's okay to look at a partner in the movie. I'm gonna take a quick little break, but before I do, I'm gonna leave you with an image. Oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna leave you with an image. Okay, so I should be back in a few minutes. Oh wait, if it's my partner, be fine. Okay, cool. Yeah, I should be back in a few minutes. And then yeah, chat a little bit more about this and some other stuff. So I'm gonna hit this button. Wait, what? Which button am I hitting first? There you go. I'm gonna hit no. Yeah, I'm gonna hit this button, and then I'm gonna hit this button. Oh, flipping out. There we go. And then I'm gonna hit this button last. Alright, cool. See you guys in a little bit. All right. Oof. Thank you for sticking around. For those who stuck around, thank you for joining. For those who have joined. I want to go to a movie your partner was in, but when you could do it in front of them. Well, I mean, it feels like had like a little argument with them, like at the time. So like you weren't really getting along with them at that point in time. You had an argument, had a bit of a tiff. I ask the important questions here. I asked the real important questions here. Like, if you was to have sex with a robot, would that still count as cheating? Just saying. These are things we've got to think about. These are things we've got to think about, the important questions. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna have a world with like AI and robots, these are the important questions. Yeah. Alright, so at some point, I think I have watched I Hate Everything's video about who killed Captain Alex. I think I watched it like a while back, but I think I'm gonna need to watch it again at some point. I'm gonna need to watch it again. If you were to have sex with a robot, would that be considered outsourcing your handiwork and taking it into the direction of automation? You know, I think that would make sense actually, because like if you're having sex with a robot, let's be honest, that's just like a real elaborate masturbation, isn't it? Like it's that's really what it is. It's just a really elaborate masturbation, really expensive wank. That's ultimately what it comes down to. It's a super expensive wank. So yeah, I think that would pretty much be it. I'm gonna be in Dallas or Grand Prairie, Texas tomorrow through Thursday. Okay, nice. What's happening there? I'm not sure I would have sex with a robot. I have my worries about its man parts and if it would kill me. Yeah, I mean, I guess as long as it's a working robot that doesn't malfunction, it won't kill you. That being said, it'd have to be a well-built robot, because it might be, if you have like a poorly built robot, you know, its man parts might break off, and you know, maybe you won't be able to get it out. Like, you know, that could be awkward. That'd just be awkward. Like, damn it, it's stuck. You have to get like pliers and stuff trying to. I'm just saying that probably won't be too pleasant. So as long as it's a well-built robot that doesn't malfunction, I think you'd be fine. I think you'd be fine. You is going to be fine. Or you're in for a shocker. Literally. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to do that though, to be honest. Well, I certainly wouldn't want to buy one anyway. That's a definite no. Like, if somebody bought one for me, I ain't gonna lie. Like, it might get used, but just saying, you know, it's a gift. If it's a gift, it might get used. But yeah, I don't think I'd want to buy one. That'd be a bit much. First of all, like, how much those things cost? Like thousands of pounds, I think, something like that. They're expensive, I believe. I mean, at least like the ones they have now, they're not like proper. Like, they look weird. Like, I don't know if you've seen them, but they look weird. Like, they look mad weird. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like they're designed by somebody who only seen women in cartoons or something. Like, they just look weird. You know what I mean? Like, they look so weird. If I know what's happening there, it's a road trip of which I can't wait to start planning and going with just me, a date or some others. Oh, nice. But you said tomorrow though, right? Tomorrow through Thursday. So you got it planned already? Who's the lady? Who's the lady? Who's the lady? Who's the lady? Get a robot to take care of all my needs that I won't need so many husbands, so that's a plus. Yeah, the robots are replacing us, man. Well, not yet, but soon enough. Or I don't know. Give it a few years. will be replaced by robots and AI. Like in about 5 years from now, we tune into this live stream, it won't even be me sitting here, just be like an AI generated version of me, and you won't even be able to tell the difference. You won't be able to. The only way you know is that eventually you realize that I don't age, because the real me would be like old and decrepit somewhere, and it'd just be like this AI generated version of me that just doesn't age. You guys be looking at this video like, wait a minute, I swear this guy's been the same age for the last 10 years. Like, what's going on? What's going on? I know black don't crack, but come on, what's going on? In about 5 years, I will have an aimbot that helps me clean my place. Alright. Ish. All right. So that's what it looked like, by the way. Oh, that's what one of them looks like. They look weird to me. Like, I don't know about you, but they look so weird to me. Seriously, it would be awful though. Human interaction is important enough, for sure, for sure. Like, I mean, when it comes to this whole AI stuff, I mean, I feel like there are some benefits in there that they can present, but anything that tries to replace people, I'm not on board with. And especially when, like you say, human interaction is important. You know, human interaction. Once you try to replace that, the way we interact, the way we communicate, the way we express ourselves, you know, like I'm not on board with that. I don't think those are good uses of the technology. I feel like those are the things that, I mean, technology is always going to change the way we do things. That's a given, right? You know, something new is invented, it's going to change the way we live, to change the way we communicate. The internet has been a big change in the way we communicate, but we still communicate, right? We still connect with each other. But if you replace something where all you're doing is talking to a robot, or talking to like some AI algorithm or whatever, and you're never talking to an actual person, you know, I don't think that's a good idea. I feel like that could lead to just a lot of, you know, groupthink, because fundamentally, if everything you communicate with is run by some algorithm, then who's controlling that algorithm? You know, like, and you know, we all have biases, like, you know, we talked about before. We all have, whether subconscious or conscious biases. People who design algorithms, they have biases as well, right? So how, if we're all we're doing is communicating with these algorithms, these AIs, then fundamentally we're all being influenced by the same set of subconscious biases. So yeah, I'm not on board with that. Like I said, I think there could be some really good uses for it, but I don't believe that's one of them. Yeah, I didn't plan it. Family trips, that sounds alright, but when you get grown, you gotta do your own separate thing, so you can really enjoy it. No, for sure, for sure. Okay, anybody ever weird? Looks like Barbie cereal, right? nobody gonna be doing back and forth trips like that anymore. Like when they're grown up, they better go by themselves with some friends or another family member or something. My opinion, that when you start replacing humans for robots, it's a bad sign of humanity, for sure, for sure. Yeah, this thing looks like it was designed by somebody who watches Babe Station or something. You know what I mean? Like it just looks so off. Like it literally looks like a toy the size of a human. That's what it is. It looks like a toy about the size of a human. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. And also just like the thought of it, like imagine like, you know, you're with a sex doll, right? And you're going, you know, you're going at it. You're going at it. You know, you put some Vaseline down there, so you know, it's lubricated, but you're going at it, right? And then maybe like you squeeze on her left tit or something, and it resets, it resets her or something. And she starts freaking out. Adult-sized Barbie with cognitive functions of right Syria. I don't even think biases are bad because think about it. You are able to have proper conversations with people. You can learn. Oh no, yeah, sorry. I mean, I don't think bias is bad inherently. I mean, we all have biases, and it's just kind of how we are. Like I said, we all have them. But if it's the same biases that you're the same biases that you're coming into contact with, like if you're communicating with an AI or any kind of algorithm, you know, whoever's designed it or whichever group of people have designed it, you know, you're effectively just coming across the same sets of biases all the time, or the same sets of subconscious biases all the time, and there's no variety in that. That's really what I meant. So it's not so much that bias is a bad thing. It's more that you don't really have any variety of how the world appears, because if it's all designed by, say, a group of people, then it's how they see the world. And even I don't even necessarily mean like they'll program it to promote their own agenda. I don't even mean that. They may not even be trying to do that. They may be trying to program it with the best intentions. But the bottom line is we all have biases, and anytime you have a bias, it's going to end up somehow in the things that you make. So that's really what I meant, that you come across the same set of subconscious biases all the time, because it's the same set of people that are designing these algorithms. It's not like you can have an algorithm designed by me, an algorithm designed by Dan, an algorithm designed by Brax, algorithm designed by Jacob, algorithm, you know what I mean, like a different algorithm. You know, it's the same set of people that are doing it. And so every time you log onto the internet, every time you log onto your AI, every time you log it, you come across the same things, in the same way it sources information, the same way it prioritizes information, the same way, you know, there's no variation in how it communicates and how it sources its details and how it prioritizes what it tells you and things like that. So effectively your subconscious is being influenced by the same set of subconscious biases for the whole time. It's like, for example, you know, you go on Google and you search something, right? typically just look at the first few results, right? It's rare you go, past the second half of the page, and you never go to the second page, right? You probably just look at the first few results among there. And Google typically would charge extra for certain things that appear higher up in the list. So that's what influences those results in a big way. But if you're looking at, say, searching, if you're talking to your AI and asking it to find something for you, is it the same thing? Is it just people paying to have their things at the top? Or is it somebody who programs it to say, well, this is how we're going to prioritize information? And if that's the case, then every time you search anything, that's going to be prioritized by the same algorithm, and which means that certain things would always appear at the top regardless of what you're searching, and certain things would always appear at the bottom regardless of what you're searching. And it may be that the things that appear at the top, not necessarily bad things, but they're all going to be maybe within, say, a certain set of viewpoints, Human nature, true emotional responses, non-verbal communication sounds too difficult to fully program. Oh, for sure. And I don't believe you could ever, no matter how sophisticated it gets, I don't believe you could ever create any kind of AI that can fully replicate human communication down to its, subtle nuances. I don't believe that's possible. I think you can create something that can get relatively close if you stay within, let's say, set parameters of communication. But if you're talking about having a real conversation with AI, you're always going to know that you're talking to an AI, because I don't believe you could ever create something that can fully handle that. That being said, that may not be the thing that actually matters to a lot of people. That may not be the thing that actually matters. I don't get sucked into all that. I used to not know as much if something is being pushed. Question it. Indeed. I think as these things get more and more popular, you have to question it more and more. But let's be honest, most people won't. Most people won't. And I ain't gonna lie, I mean, I probably won't question it all the time either. I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I get a little bit lazy. But yeah, I think most people probably won't. But yeah, indeed, it's important to question things. Very important to question things. When in doubt, avoid camp, test it out. Okay, avoid camp. What's avoid camp? I feel like I should probably know that. Avoid camp. The Voight camp test was a test used by the LAPD's Blade Runners. Oh, of course. To assist determine whether or not of individuals are replicant. Of course. Yeah, I should. Yeah, I should know that. Yeah, I should have known that. I should have known that. Though, to be fair, I would say that I probably didn't like Blade Runner as much as most people. I mean, I guess it was an okay film. I don't even think it was rubbish. But I feel like a lot of people look at that movie as an absolute masterpiece. I kind of look at it as a pretty okay film, but there's one scene in that film though which I thought was brilliant. It's a scene with Rutger Hauer when he does that speech about Tears in the Rain. That was brilliant. That to me was a brilliant. Rutger Hauer just killed. He as far as I'm concerned, Rutger Hauer took that movie for me. That scene, yeah, it's the Rutger Hauer movie as far as I'm concerned. It's the Rutger Hauer movie. But yeah, I think overall, I thought it was alright. But a lot of people seem to talk about it like it was just this amazing, brilliant film, and yeah. In all honesty, for the most part, it's a dry film with a great concept. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, he stole it, man. He stole it. The Tears in the Rain. I think that's what he says in it. Tears in the Rain. Yeah, like tears in the rain before he dies. Well, dies because it's a rapper thing, doesn't die. I've seen things. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the Tannhauser Gate. All those moments will be lost in time, like tears in the rain. Time to die. Oof, that scene though. That scene. That's the movie for me. That scene is the movie for me. His performance was absolutely brilliant, for sure. Rest in peace, Rutger Hauer. But it just goes to show, man, what a good acting can do, and what a well written or just well played out section of a film can do, like okay, maybe I didn't enjoy the film so much, but I still remember that bit, because it was just so well done, and I feel like that could be, well, that is in the power of movies at times, where they can just like leave these imprints on your mind that maybe you forget all the other words, maybe you forget everything else that happened in the movie, maybe forget who the main characters are, you forget how it ended and all that sort of stuff, but you can remember that bit just imprints in your mind and it just stays there. When I last night got questioned on how the LGBT etc. is these days, poor kid just wanted to have fun. Oof. Yeah, it's be like that. Sometimes people look at you like you're the representative for an entire group. It's like, mate, come on, man. I ain't here for that. I ain't here for none of that. But how was it LGBT? No, I'm kidding. The worst ones when you get people who say things like, well, maybe not say the worst one. Elle might feel differently about this. But when people talk to you about another person in your group as if you're supposed to know who they are, You know, they'll talk about one of their friends or whatever, that or some guy that they met, and they'll talk about them as if you're supposed to know who they are. Like, right, what is this? Like, what is this? But then it turns out you do know him. It's like, flipping out, damn it. Like, damn it. Been there, yeah, you know. But yeah, people be stupid. Doesn't even like most of it, but she doesn't want to talk about it all the time either. Yeah, maybe one day, maybe, just maybe one day, people will just treat people like people, you know? Just people, because at the end of the day, that's all any of us are. We're just people. We're just people, you know? Maybe some of us do things that are different from the majority of people, but we're still just people. Maybe some of us live in different ways that are different from the vast majority of people, but we're still just people. Maybe some of us have opinions that are different from most other people, but we're still just people. We're still just people. People act like they gotta have some special treatment or something. It's like, nah, we're just people. Just don't be an arsehole. That's literally it. That's literally it. Just don't be an arsehole. You aren't gonna do nothing fancy. Just don't be an arsehole. I'm also hoping that one day common sense will be common. Well, that's a big hope, isn't it? That seems like a big hope. But hey, maybe, just maybe. Just maybe. Or I don't know, maybe some people do need to get replaced by AI. Maybe that's it. Maybe some people actually do need to be replaced by AI and be like, you know what? Yeah. Let me get an AI version of you that can reprogram. Oh man. After that, Al was then talking about the bathroom gender thing. All right. Boys this room, girls that room. Yeah. I mean, I guess I got some opinions on that. But yeah, maybe I mean, here's the thing. Let me this is where I get cancelled in 10 years. I mean, I guess it depends on the place specifically, because a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, but if you go to like a smaller shop, like a smaller coffee shop, they're just gonna have one toilet anyway. They, you know, single use, like one person at a time. It's like it doesn't matter. And I guess toilets in general, it probably is not a massive problem who's using the toilet anyway. I guess where it really comes into effect and where it really could be an issue is when it comes to things like changing rooms. You know, I feel like that's where it's really, at least to my mind anyway, to my mind, that's where it's really going to be an issue. Because a toilet, you could just kind of walk in, go to the cubicle, do your business, walk out, wash, you know, come wash your hands and leave. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a toilet is probably not a big deal anyway, because you just go in, go to the cubicle, nobody's seeing your bits anyway. But a changing room is a bit different, right? You know, where you might be naked, they might be naked, and things like that. I feel like that's where, at least again in my mind, I don't know. I'm not there, so I don't know. But to my mind, I feel like that's where it's going to be the biggest issue. If you've got women in a changing room getting changed, and then somebody with a male presenting body comes in, dick swinging. You know, maybe there's younger girls there as well, or, you know, things like that. That's where it's like, come on, man. Come on. Come on. And yeah, I think it's important to respect people's wishes, but at the same time, come on. Come on. Like, or maybe they should change like the names of the toilets, rather than calling it, you know, men's toilets and women's toilets. Maybe they should just change the names of the toilets and say male presenting bodies this room, female presenting bodies this room. Maybe they should do that. You know, maybe they should do that. That way, even though you're a woman, if you have a male presenting body, you go into this room. You know, maybe that's what they should do. But I just find it a bit sus that anytime you hear about that conversation, it is always, or at least, I don't know, to my mind and ears anyway, it is pretty much always somebody with a man's body going into a female changing room. You never hear about somebody with a female body going into a men's changing room. And that to me is suspect. Like, why is there so much pushback about men going into female changing rooms? Like, why is there so much argument? You never hear nobody arguing for women to go into men's changing rooms. You don't hear that. And I'm not even saying that people aren't arguing for that. Maybe there are people fighting for that too. But you don't ever hear it in the news, do you? You don't ever hear it in the news. It's always about a man wanting to go into, or a male presenting body wanting to go into a female changing room. Same with sports. It's always about a male presenting body wanting to get into female sports. You never hear about the women trying to get into men's sports. Again, I ain't saying they ain't trying, but you don't never hear about it, right? Certainly very, very rarely if you do. So that to me is just suspect. It's clearly a one-way street. When it's like that, it's clearly to me a one-way thing. It's not about, I mean, look, I'm sure for some people it is a genuine thing. Like people, you know, I ain't trying to say that. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who are genuine in their approach and genuine about what they're saying. But let's be honest, a lot of people will just use it as an excuse, you know, to see some titties. Like, let's not pretend like that won't happen. You know, let's not pretend that somebody ain't gonna be going into female changing rooms talking about, oh, I'm a woman, but they're just trying to see some vagina. You know what I mean? Let's not pretend that that's not a thing that could happen. And yeah, as like I say, you should respect people's wishes and try to accommodate as best you can, but you also at the same time, you can't put people in danger just because somebody says they're a woman. Like, I can just walk into the female changing room at the gym and be like, yeah, I'm a woman. You know what I mean? Come on now, come on. think it's just about gender because we know issues we're sharing with a gay guy, but some of these men who identify as female or non-binary come across as threatening. Yeah, there's that too. That too. Men wanting to use female stuff and they don't do much to look like a woman either. Yeah, they ain't getting no surgery or nothing. They ain't taking no kind of hormones or nothing. They're just saying like, yeah, oh, I'm a woman. I identify as a woman. That's all it is. I identify as a woman. Alright. You can identify as a woman, you still look like a dude, so that room. You know, that room. If you have a penis, you use this room. If you have a vagina, you use this room. How about that? Maybe, yeah, maybe stop calling it male-female rooms, boy-girl rooms, you know, man-woman rooms. Maybe stop calling it that. Just to make sure everybody's in the right place. Penis is here. If you're a man or a woman and you got a penis, you go this room. If you're a man or a woman but you got a vagina, you go to this room. Simple, right? I feel that makes sense. I think that makes sense. But yeah. I don't know. The world's big and wide. There's a lot of different things going on. Many of it, I don't understand. Some of it, I may never understand, but hey. What can you do, man? What can you do? I guess my general attitude was anything is live and let live, but when the way, I mean, if the way you're living don't affect nobody else, then it's like, yeah, live and let live. But if the way you're living starts to affect other people, in particular in a negative way, and especially if it starts to affect children or anybody in a more vulnerable category, that's not okay. That's not okay. The man who raped 2 or 3 women said he identified as a woman in court, put on a wig, etc. He was sent to a woman's prison. Oh, that is so bad. That is so bad. I hope at the very least they put him in solitary confinement. At the very least, I hope they put him in solitary confinement. Because that's a miscarriage of justice right there. Like, the guy raped women and you put him amongst women. I hope they're put in solitary confinement. Or if he tries anything, I mean, women in prison could be tough. Well, they don't could be. Yeah, women in prison. They tries anything, they just gang up on this guy, beat him down. So let me show you what I'm doing right now. like these things, but you know what? Maybe there's hope. Maybe there's hope. There's a questionnaire. It asks me, regardless of where you live now, where would you most like to live? This is a compatibility thing it's doing. I don't even know, you know, like, I mean, a small town, suburb. It's here too, or Scotland. Man, this world's crazy. Right. Yeah, that's let me go suburb actually. I wouldn't mind a large city, but yeah, let me go suburb. I don't think I could afford to live in a suburb, but yeah. But yeah, it's I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's. I guess I understand trying to accommodate things, but there's certain things though, like just certain things, like. Aside from love and affection, what are your main reasons for wanting a relationship? Up to 3 answers. I'm not sure these are the best answers, but they may be the closest. I have this friend who is trans. I've known her for years and normally can agree to disagree, but she posted about supporting gender surgeries and kids, and we are bigots. If not now, I'm questioning. Yeah, that's a bit much. Like, gender surgeries on kids is not necessary. It's so not. I'm not even in favor of that tablet thing they do as well. Was that hormone suppressor tablet, whatever it is? I'm not even in favor of that. But surgeries, no way. Come on now, surgery on a child? Nah. I mean, when you're like 12 years old, like, you get rejected by some boy or some girl and you think it's like the end of the world, like you cry forever. And you think like at that age you could be deciding to make a permanent life-changing surgery. Oh, come on now. Ain't even done your GCSEs yet. You're talking about life-changing surgery. Come on now. Let me be friends with her. And I'm more this is a little bit more. Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. And especially if she's saying things like, oh, if you don't agree with me, you're a bigot. It's like, no, if we don't agree with you, that's... don't agree with you, then that just means you're a reasonably minded person. Which thoughts almost like to pop at your head? Are we going to look good together? We have brought the right gift. Will there be old people I don't know? I noticed that I really don't like this, you know. I'm not sure these questions and answers are really indicative of what I would be thinking or doing, but ugh. You can go with this one. It's probably the closest. But yeah, I feel like people like that ultimately create their own problems. Like, that's a clear kind of standoff statement. Agree with me or you're a bigot. It's like, wait a minute. Why do I have to be a bigot just because I don't agree with you? Why do I think I'm single, you know, raw? You really want to know? I think there's more than one reasons. I think it's probably the closest. I wasn't ready before now. Yeah, that's probably the closest, to be honest. It's not the only reason for sure, but out of these answers, it's the closest. My favorite Eva, if it was my kids, I would listen. I would let them wear what they want, but I wouldn't do anything till at least 18. Let the brain, right, for sure. Because it needs to be, I mean, to be honest, I'm not, even 18's like young, right? But it's like at least, well, I mean, that's you're legally an adult at that point, so it's like, well, there's not much you can do then. But it's like, yeah, certainly not when they're still children and they're still developing and they still haven't, I mean, you get to like 20, 30, you barely figured out your life yet. And it's like, you really want a child to make that kind of decision. It's like people in their 40s and 50s are changing their minds. Definitely share one bedroom or have two separate bedrooms. I don't know, to be honest, either though could sound quite appealing. I'm not sure I'm bothered either way, but let me go with a one bedroom. Use the room for something else. Use the other room for my gaming. Love sickness. Ugh. You're racist too, you know, it's that you disagree. Transphobic, racist, biggest, always you're right, yeah. It's always the thing, isn't it? If you don't agree with me, then you're this thing. It's like, well, who decided you're the arbiter of who's racist or who's homophobic or who's transphobic or who isn't? Like, why do you get to decide that? Because that sounds pretty bigoted to me, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? That sounds pretty bigoted to me, that you think that your opinions are so correct that absolutely no way you could ever be wrong about anything. And if somebody disagrees with you, then they must be the problem. I don't know, man. I don't know. That sounds pretty off to me. Sounds pretty arrogant, egotistical. Just saying, man, just saying. Typical traits of a bigot. But I don't know, man. Let me go with this one. Ah, right. The thing is, like, some of these questions, like, you don't really know how you feel about them unless it happens. Like, unless you've been tested. And I feel like any one of these could be, depending on the situation, could be good enough answers. I'm gonna go with this one. I think that's probably a just saying they don't even say it right. It's a lack of self-awareness. You know, that complete lack of self-awareness. And I get it, like we could all lack a little self-awareness from time to time, right? That happens. It's a human thing. We could all lack a little self-awareness, but to be so self-unaware that you don't realize you're displaying the traits of what you claim to be against, like, bruh, come on, man. Come on. I don't really know fancy nothing. Though it might, I mean, it could be cool. But 15%. Man, this is long. I ain't gonna do this all now. Yeah, I ain't doing this all now. This is long. Alright, let me come back to this. Let me come back to that. Ugh. Do that some other time. We're gonna maybe start again, cheeky buggers. Well, look, anytime anybody gives those kind of ultimatums, you know, like agree with me or you're one of these people. Yeah, that's a major side eye. Like, I'm gonna assume you probably haven't even they haven't even thought it through that well themselves. Doesn't care about skin color or was by it. That term racist stuff, I feel like it gets so overused these days, doesn't it? Like, there's a point where anytime you have a conversation with somebody about race or racism specifically, you really have to ask them, what exactly do you mean by that word? Because like, so many people define it in so many different ways that you could have a conversation with racism with somebody, and because you have like two different definitions of what it means, like you could end up arguing about something just because you're starting at different points. Like, you just have different views on the word. So I feel like it's at a point where if you're gonna have a conversation about it, you have to say, "Oh, what does it actually mean? Like, what do you mean when you say it?" Because like you get people who say things like, racism is prejudice and power, and racism is whatever, and racism is bigot, racism is this, and racism, and they have so many different viewpoints. And I'm at a mindset right now. Well, I don't know if I'm fully on this mindset, but I'm very much leaning towards this mindset that just says like, just burn that word. You know what I mean? Just burn that word, because it's so overused and has so many different meanings that it practically doesn't mean anything anymore. Let's just burn the word and be done with it. Just burn that word and like, look, just don't be an arsehole. How about that? Whether you hate somebody because of their skin color or you hate somebody because of their shoelaces, either way, you're hating on somebody for some silly reason. Don't be an arsehole. You know what I mean? Like, maybe we should start promoting that instead. And I just feel like you say, people just get so obsessed with it, and this idea that whether something is racist or not, and completely ignore the fact that it's still a bad thing regardless. Like, the fact that it's not, like, it may not have been racist doesn't necessarily mean that it was okay. Like, for example, let's say like a black guy got mugged by a white guy, right? Everybody be in the comments about racism. And it's like, are we just gonna ignore the fact that somebody got mugged? Like, and that's a crime? Like, is it okay if, you know what I mean? Like, is it okay because it's not, if it's not racist? Like, no, somebody got mugged. That is a crime, regardless of the reason or their opinions or whatever. That is a crime, and I just feel like we get so focused and hyper fixated on this one aspect of it that may or may not have been a part of the incident, and then in the end it's like just ignoring the fact that there was a crime committed and the person should go to prison or jail or whatever punishment for committing a crime, regardless of what the reason behind that crime is. It's not any better because it wasn't racist, or worse because it's racist. It's like somebody committed a crime and another person was on the receiving end of that crime, and I feel like that should be the focus. But I don't know, man, people just get so fixated on these things that, like, what are we trying to prove in the end? I ain't friends with you because your beliefs. I'm friends with you because you was cool as shit. Yo, what up, Fred? You watching something? Where was watching Who Killed Captain Alex. That's over now, though. Now we're talking about well, once upon a time, someone called me racist. Now they can call you over different opinions, this, whatever, right? And people call you racist over dumb things. Like you said, just because you have an opinion on something is like. And for me, okay, so I like to keep things simple. Like, to me, the word racism is discrimination or discriminating against somebody because of their race. That's to me what it means. If you discriminate against somebody on the basis of their race, that is being racist. And that to me is a pretty, you keep it simple, right? Now, of course, there's like different levels of racism. Some people could be racist, but maybe don't do much with their racism. Maybe they have racist opinions, right? But in the end of the day, they don't necessarily do much with their racism. There's those guys. Then there's those with racist opinions, and they do a lot with their racism, right? And let's go those guys. And there's those who are maybe a bit more subtle with their racism. They have all the opinions in their head, but they're a bit more subtle with how they go about their day. So I get that there's different levels to it, but bottom line is you're discriminating against somebody because of their race, racism. You know, that to me is just that's what it should mean. But yeah, I feel like it doesn't mean that anymore. At least not in a lot of conversations. You know, it's like, I don't know, that whole power thing, that just makes no damn sense to me. Like, if people start saying dumb stuff like black people can't be racist, like, really? You sure about that? You sure? You positive? Alright. Black people can't be racist because black people don't have the power. Well, that sounds pretty racist to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're discriminating against black people, like we can't have power. Like, there's no situations where a black person could have power, really? Really, you sure about that? Because I don't know, that sounds like a pretty ignorant attitude to me, to assume that there's absolutely no situation where a black person could have the power and a white person may not have the power. Like, that seems like a pretty ignorant opinion to me. I'm just saying. Like, to assume just because somebody's black that they don't have the power in a situation, that seems pretty discriminatory to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you're putting somebody down based on the color of their skin. That's what that seems like to me. I'm just saying. So yeah, that whole power thing about that makes no sense to me. Like, if you're discriminating against somebody based on their race, that is racist. Where regardless of who has the power in that situation, regardless of who's the boss and who isn't, who has the money and who doesn't, if you're discriminating against somebody because of their race, you are being racist. But hey, I'm just some weirdo on the internet. It is a film. It's in fact, if you look at the top of the chat, there's a link to that film. So you can click on that link and you can watch it. It's only like an hour and 8 minutes. It's not very long, but it's a good movie. So you definitely should check it out at some point, Fred, and anybody else who hasn't seen it. Your headphones look like Minnie Mouse ears. Nice. I can deal with that. Opinion is done for sure. For sure. That's not, yeah, I've never agreed with that opinion. It's just never made any sense to me. That's just never made any sense to me. Now, as for favorite arcade games, okay, Brax coming in to lighten up the mood. Nice one, appreciate it, Brax. What is my favorite arcade game? I don't even know, you know. I mean, I haven't been to arcades for time, but I think like back in the day, it was definitely, yeah, it's probably Street Fighter. Back in the day, it was Street Fighter 2, my favorite arcade game, because I played that the most. I used to bunk off school to go play that. But that's an obvious choice, I think. So if I could pick something else, oof, I don't know, maybe something like Time Crisis or, you know, something like that. I think maybe. But yeah, Street Fighter is like that's like an easy, obvious choice for me. But other than that, yeah, probably something like Time Crisis or maybe Mortal Kombat. Is it a naughty film with swearing? Not that, maybe a little bit of swearing, but not much, not much. But yeah. Yeah, swearing and feet, I think Fred is obsessed with. Swearing and feet. No swearing as it naughty. Well, keep that mouth clean for sure. Keep that mouth clean. Oh, wow. Oh. Excuse me. Came at 8 p.m. at that time, but you were not there exactly at 8 p.m. Which time zone are you in, Fred? Because 8 p.m. is GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. If you're in a different time zone, you might need something to work out what 8 p.m. is on your part of the world. But 8 p.m. London time is when I usually will start to go live, or approximately 8 p.m. London time. So which part of the world are you in? And then you have to figure out what 8 p.m. London is. When it's 8 p.m. here, what time is it over there? I need an obsession. I feel like I'm missing out. Well, might not necessarily be a good thing, so be careful what you obsess yourself with. Round of the House of the Dead, 1, 2, 3, and 4, Carnival, Vampire Nights, Mortal Kombat 3 and 4, Marvel vs. Capcom, War Gods, Area 51, etc. Okay, so a lot of shooting games, well, shooting and fighting games. PM is nighttime, AM is breakfast. So PM stands for post meridian, and AM stands for ante meridian. Is that right? Is that right? Yeah, I was right. Ante meridian. So I know stuff. But yeah, ante meridian, it means before midday, and then post meridian after midday. So man knows bare things, you know. Man's got bare knowledge up here, you don't know. Horror movies and swearing. AM is radio too. Oh, that is true. That is true. AM radio, yeah, that is true. And then FM radio. Amplitude modulation. And frequency modulation. Yep. AM to PM. Hey. Oof, all right. Do you not get grounded when you swear or detention? You know, I don't think I've ever been grounded in my life, you know. My parents never really did that. Well, not really. I mean, I guess it was times where they were like, you're not allowed to go out, or they wouldn't let us go someplace. But we never really like grounded in that typical sense, because we still went out. You know, we might not go out that particular day, but we'll still go out. So yeah, I got detention a lot though in school. I did get detention a lot. I can swear if I want to. Just don't tell my mama. Indeed. Not in front of mama. My school used to have this thing called the referral room. I don't think they have it anymore. I'm pretty sure they don't have it anymore, which once I tell you about it, you'd understand why they wouldn't have it anymore. But the referral room was the place where they'll send you if you misbehave during class, and So you go to this room, and you know, to kind of sit you out of class and to, you know, to think about what you've done. The very first time I got sent to a referral room, I was like worried, because I'm thinking, man, your parents are gonna find out, you're gonna get in trouble and all this kind of stuff. I was worried, but I get there, yeah, and this is like, I'm first year secondary school at this time, so I don't know, like 11 years old, something like that. But I get there, and it's mostly a lot of the big kids, like the sort of like 14, 15-year-olds at the time, so like the big kids, you know, right? And they didn't have a teacher running, you know, looking after the class, the referral room. It was like I think it was the caretaker, actually. I can't remember. I think it was the caretaker at school. So he wasn't like, he didn't really care what we did, you know what I mean? Like he's not, he has no real authority over, I mean, of course we don't know that, but he has no real authority over us. But he just didn't care what we did. Like, we'd be in there, and because I was with like the older kids, like they'd be like having like all these like swear words or all these cuss words that I've never heard before. So for me, it was the coolest thing ever. Like, it was so cool being there, because I was hearing all these words I never heard before. Like the teacher or the caretaker who's there, he just didn't care what we did. He was just letting us like say whatever. We're just like throwing stuff around the room, just having bare fun, you know. So like after that, I wanted to go referral room. You know, I mean, I wanted to go referral room. I was like, man, what can I do to get to the referral room? That's what I wanted. I want to be there. You know, it was so much fun. So needless to say, yeah, whatever we were supposed to learn during that, we didn't learn. I think we were supposed to like stop misbehaving. It's like, nah, yeah, it was a good time, man. It was a good time. The referral room was so much fun. Okay, take it, Mr. Romero. Look like Jesus. All right. Sounded fun, yeah. Nah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, I doubt they have that anymore. I mean, I'm not in a position to check, but I doubt they have that anymore. Like, I was got detention for skipping school. Funny enough, I skipped that too. You know, some schools have Saturday detention. That's crazy. Like, I saw that film, was it The Breakfast Club, when they go on Saturday for detention, and I was like, that must be just an American thing. But no, even schools over in the UK, some of them have Saturday detention. I was like, man, my school did not have Saturday detention. They must have known nobody would ever turn up for a Saturday detention. They must have known that. If anybody was ever given a Saturday detention, like, they were not turning up. Like, they must have known, don't even bother. Don't even bother. If you're gonna give some detention, then make sure it's like they're actually in that day, and that you know where they are for that last class, so you can just like tell them to stay back. But other than that, nah. It was released on Halloween 1998. Used to go back home. Just duck out, do your thing, innit? Man, I'm actually surprised I actually made it through school with, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't, my grades weren't like amazing or nothing, but I feel like, all things considered, I probably did better than I was supposed to, you know, because I missed out. I used to bunk off school so much, and the amount of times I got detentions or referral or, you know, stuff like that, or just not really paying attention in class. And man, I probably did better in school than I was supposed to, because I don't know how I managed to pass anything, man. Actually, to be fair, there were a few periods of time where I got my head down and, you know, did the work. There were maybe a few times like that, but mate. Oh, so it's behavioral problem growing up with my folks. Oh, okay. Yeah, and I get that. Don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. It's like, nah. You misbehaving again, boy. You misbehaving again, boy. Great, you call me chat man. Raw. Chat man, you know, okay. I mean, I'm assuming you mean me, but maybe not. YouTube man, okay. I mean, my name is on the channel page, by the way, so just saying. It's on the channel page. Man's calling chat man, YouTube man. All right. Yeah, watch TV or movies, make food, go back in the afternoon, get my mark, leave again. Schools because I struggled with most of the subjects. Yeah, school's a lot of things when you're there, and it could be like really tough. It could be really just draining. It could be a lot, and especially at that age where everything feels so final, you know. Captain Alex, oosh. That's not the channel name, by the way. That's the title of the video. Bruh, come on, man. How'd you find the channel if you don't know what much the channel name is? Come on, Fred. Come on, Fred. Unless your last name Flintstone, I'm not accepting you don't know what the channel name is. Yeah, no, for sure. Like, yeah. Subscribe. You appreciate that, Fred. But if you're subscribed to me, then you should definitely know what the channel name is. Where she gets a call from the school about me. Next time she's gonna come there and whoop my ass. Hey, mate, you know what? There was one kid in my school that got beat by his mom in front of the whole school. I didn't actually see it myself, but yeah, just a story that got passed around. Like, this kid got beat by his mom in front of the whole school. Like, bruh, listen. I think if that ever happened to me, I don't think I'd ever go back to school again. Like, I'd be like, you know what, we're going to a different school. Just whatever, nah, we're just not going back there. Like that, you could not live that down. You could not live that down. It's like most kids got beat, you know, pretty much every kid I know got beat, but it's like, wait till you get home. That's the thing, you wait till you get home. This kid got beat in front of the school by his mom. It was like, mate, nah. Haze days, there you go. There you go. You even managed to get your capitals and little capital thing going on there as well. You got it. You got it, Fred. You got it, Frederick. It's not a real name. It's real enough. It's real enough. We subjects I actually enjoy. Schools, English. Yeah, English was alright still, you know. Channel name, yeah, nah, it's real enough. That's the name I answer to. What do I call you? You can call me Haze, H-A-Z-E. You know, the thing is, my name is actually not that difficult to find out. That being said, I'm not in the habit of giving it out just like that. So, I mean, if you want to find out my name, it's not hard. Like, it really isn't that hard. Like, it's not hard at all. It's so not hard. But that being said, I don't say it. Not here. Well, I think I have said it on stream before. I'm pretty sure I have said it on stream before. But even still, not today. But yeah, it's not a difficult thing to find out. It's really not. It's very easy actually if you wanted to. But for now, not today. Haze will do. Haze will do just fine. But with that said, yeah, I believe it's time for one to start winding down and wrapping up. Next live stream should be tomorrow, Tuesday, 8 p.m. GMT, Frederick, GMT. So whichever part of the world you're in, compare it to 8 p.m. GMT to find out what that is in your town or city. But Tuesday, 8 p.m. GMT should be the next live stream. Watching the next episodes, what's it, 4, 5, and 6 episodes of season 2 of the X-Files. So yeah, making our way through X-Files season 2, continuing that. Oh yeah, Sam gets special privileges, by the way. So for those who you don't know, Sam might call me something else. Only Sam gets to call me something else. Nobody else. There's reasons for that. Sam gets special privileges. She knows why, and that's yeah. Not dating. Come on, Fred. It's my wife you're talking about. That's my wife looking after the kid that I abandoned. Well, actually, no, I didn't abandon the kid. I just went to get some milk. I didn't go away. Just went to get some milk. What about other foot fetish, man? I think it's just you that likes feet the way you do. I mean, yeah, the Ipsnay on the Datesnay or I don't know, something like that. Man, your obsession with feet, dude, I swear down. Date the husband. By the way, Fred, I'm getting the impression that you're not getting it's a joke. Hopefully you do, but just in case you're not getting that, it's a joke. It's a joke. We're not actually married or dating. Just a running joke. Is all. It's okay, Fred. It was just like I said, it's just a running joke. It's not that deep. Freak show on a haunted house and the big top. Please, it's so good, Fred. I guess to be fair, you've only been coming to the chats for I think a few weeks, so yeah, certain things you might not get, but so I don't mean to confuse you like that, but yeah, we're just playing around, just having some fun, It's all good. Nothing to forgive. There we go. Chat, man. Okay. Well, anyway. Anyway. I'm gonna go put some food in my stomach. Then I'm gonna lay my head down and I'm gonna close my eyes and I'm not gonna open them for approximately 5 hours. That's the plan, at least, anyway. That's the plan. We'll see how if it works out or not. But guys, I don't know what I'm gonna eat, just whatever's in the fridge. I don't plan that far ahead. Man, just shouting. Well, did I say joke? I mean, okay, bye. Yeah, let me think about my answer to that, and I'll try and have something prepared for the next stream. Let me think. I need to think of a diplomatic answer that's not going to get me any more trouble than apparently I just got myself into. So let me try and think of something to say, and I'll answer what I mean by that. I'll try and answer what I mean by that. Hopefully Sam would have forgotten by then, and I won't even have to answer it, but let me try and think of something. But yeah, guys, appreciate you coming through. Appreciate everything you do. Big up to you and your crew. So yeah, tomorrow, TV Tuesdays, 8 PM at GMT. Fred, GMT. That's Greenwich Mean Time, London time. Check whatever that is in your part of the world. You can use things like World Time Buddy or Time Zone Converter or something like that. But yeah, 8 PM GMT. But yeah, watching the X-Files, watch that, have a little chat, have some fun. But yeah, until then, until whenever, if ever, peace.